Chris Bowser live at Arch Madness in St. Louis, where number 9 seed Drake has taken down the number 1 seed Belmont in the first quarterfinal on Friday. And so chaos, Brian Duttler. Talk to us a little bit about your thoughts on the game.
As we talked earlier this morning, we knew it was going to be a one-sided affair. Unfortunately for Belmont, it turned in their favor, and Drake absolutely outperformed Belmont in all aspects of the game this afternoon. Drake had a 48-41 lead at the end of the first half. They had great offensive flow. There was the energy in the arena was nice today. The hot shooting was predominant in the first half. It was a great flow offensively. But Drake had a lot of 5-out motion. And the plan for them earlier on in the first half was to spread the floor, penetrate when the shot clock got lower. Coach Henderson tried to slow Drake down quite a bit in the first half, but Drake was operating at such a high offensive capabilities. They just kept scoring at will, driving to the lane, and had absolutely excellent offensive execution in the first half. Well, some of the stats, Drake shot 62% in the first half from the field, 50% from three-point line, and Belmont was just as good. They were just 50% overall and 42%. It was a high-level offensive game. Drake was +3 on the boards. Then Drake took over in the second half. Every single media timeout, that 4-minute marker, they grew their lead by at least 2 points. And with the biggest coming in the second half, they did a fantastic job at eliminating Lundblade's attempts in the second half. He was almost like a 4-on-4 game out there, and they were not going to let Lundblade beat them at all. He barely got it. I don't know if he had any shots at all. If he had, it was minimal. I don't believe he scored in the second half. And it was just tremendous game planning, execution out of Drake, and much-deserved win, which is now their 11th in a row here in St. Louis.
And that's what we were going to talk about next. And so now Drake, after losing 9 regular season games in a row, has won 2 in a row at the 2026 Arch Madness tournament, which is their 11th straight, as Brian just said, at this event. And so we've actually been able to grab a Drake fan and talk a little bit about that. Can you talk maybe, Dan, a little bit about the slide down the stretch, but then what do you think the turnaround is all about here at Arch Madness?
Yeah, it looked at the end of the season like the team gave up, but apparently come down to St. Louis for some magic here, some Arch magic. But Jalen Quinn looked awesome today. He had 31 points with only 2 3-pointers, 21 assists to 8 turnovers. And that's unbelievable assist-to-turnover ratio. But the Bulldogs love their home here in St. Louis.
It is definitely Knapp Center South. We're here at the Enterprise Center. We're about ready to tip off for the second game, Murray State and UIC. Dan, talk a little bit about, maybe as a Drake fan, do you have a preference on who you'd like to see on semifinal Saturday?
Well, it seems like Murray's sliding down the stretch, but I guess Drake looked that way too, so who knows? And anything can happen down here. You'd probably want to play the lower seed, but it's happy to play on semifinal Saturday.
Thanks, Dan. So thank you for Dan and Brian Duttler joining us on the Dr. Bowser podcast show, powered by Sports Guys Iowa. We'll be back after the second quarterfinal game with another update.